Hello, brethren, companions, and friends. Welcome back to the Working Tools Podcast. The podcast where we don't just talk about Freemasonry, we live it. I'm your host, Worshipful Brother, and excellent companion, Stephen Nagy. And tonight, I am very, very excited to take you on a journey into one of the most fascinating and profound degrees in Freemasonry. We call it the completion of the craft degrees. I am indeed talking about the Royal Arch, or the Holy Royal Arch. Some say the craft degrees teach us how to build a temple. The Royal Arch shows us how to find the hidden treasures buried within it. It is here that the Master Mason completes the journey begun in the third degree, discovering truths once thought lost and reconnecting with the divine spark. Tonight, together, we're going to explore the historical and biblical backdrop of the Royal Arch. Key figures in the story: Zerubbabel, Joshua the high priest, and the prophet Haggai, the rich symbolism and colors of the order, and why this degree remains the completion of craft masonry. Now, taking into consideration the historical and the biblical settings, the Royal Arch story takes place during a pivotal moment in Jewish history: the return from Babylonian exile around 538 BC. To set the scene, Jerusalem is a city of ruins. The Temple of Solomon, once the spiritual and political heart of the nation, has been destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar 70 years earlier. The walls are broken, homes are in disrepair, and the people, though resilient, are weary from decades of exile in Babylon. Yet hope is rekindled. King Cyrus of Persia, after conquering Babylon, issues a decree allowing the Hebrew people to return to their homeland and rebuild the temple. This moment is both political and deeply spiritual. A chance to restore not only the buildings, but identity, faith, and tradition. Leading this monumental task is Zerubbabel, a descendant of King David, representing the continuity of the royal line and the promise of a renewed nation. Alongside him is Joshua, the high priest, tasked with restoring the spiritual life of the people, rebuilding the religious practices and ceremonies that had been disrupted during the exile. And there is Haggai, the prophet, urging the people to labor with purpose and reminding them that the rebuilding of the temple is not only a physical work, but a spiritual mission. Picture the scene: companions and workers clearing rubble, stones of the old temple in dust, the foundations of the new sanctuary being laid. In the midst of this labor, they uncover a hidden vault, preserving sacred knowledge and long-lost truths. The discovery that forms the heart of the Royal Arch allegory. This historical backdrop is crucial because it sets the tone of the degree. The Royal Arch is about recovery, perseverance, and the unveiling of what was hidden. The story teaches that even in destruction and exile, hope and divine truth endure, waiting to be rediscovered. Now, The Royal Arch is full of moral lessons through its allegory. And the Royal Arch teaches that truth may be hidden, but is never destroyed, even when the craft degrees leave us with a sense of loss. This degree shows us that what is divine is eternal. The journey of discovery in the Royal Arch is more than physical. It is spiritual. It reminds us that perseverance is essential. The search for truth requires dedication and humility. Hidden wisdom can be found even in the darkest of times. In essence, the Royal Arch is about recovery, restoration, and renewal. It completes the Masonic journey by uncovering what was once thought lost. Now, the Royal Arch is rich in symbolism, and it has many emblems, and each emblem carries layers of meaning. The most profound, and the one that we can really identify the Royal Arch with, is the triple Tor. I said perhaps the most iconic symbol, interlaced with a triangle. And it represents the Temple of Jerusalem, and if I can say this correctly, Templum Hierosolema, the union of divine and human, and the mysteries preserved through time. The keystone, the final stone that locks the arch in place. It signifies completion, stability, and the discovery of what was once lost. The circle within a triangle, a symbol of perfection, unity, and eternity. The circle represents the infinite, while the triangle signifies balance and the threefold nature of the divine. The Royal Arch is rich in colour, and the colours in the Royal Arch are not just decorative, they carry profound meaning. Now, the main colours, crimson, blue, and purple. Crimson represents zeal, fervency, and the willingness to sacrifice in pursuit of truth. The blue signifies fidelity, friendship, and eternal truth, linking the Royal Arch to the craft. And then there's the purple, a blend of red and blue, representing harmony, spiritual authority, and wisdom. These colours are worn in the regalia, most notably in the triple-coloured sash, reminding companions of the unity of these principles. Now, why does the Royal Arch matter? The Royal Arch is often called the root, heart, and marrow of Masonry because it completes the story begun in the craft degrees. Where the third degree leaves us searching for the lost word, the Royal Arch reveals it. It is a degree of enlightenment, teaching that what is divine and internal cannot be destroyed, only concealed. It is also deeply personal. Each companion is encouraged to reflect on their own life. Where might truth lie hidden in your own experiences? How can perseverance and faith restore what was lost? And what treasures of wisdom await discovery within yourself? Now, some closing thoughts. The Royal Arch is more than just ritual. It is a journey of rediscovery. It invites us to labor faithfully, to seek hidden truths, and to rejoice in the revelations that come from dedicated effort and reflection. It reminds us that even when the world seems broken, the foundations endure, and the light of truth will always shine again. Now, I'd like to thank you very much for joining me on this episode right here. I am your host, Stephen Nagy, and Again, I've really enjoyed the exploration of this Royal Arch degree, and I hope you can join me next time on the next episodes of The Working Tools. And remember, the working tools are in your hands. What will you build?